Kids up for success here at the start of a brand new school year really begins with a good routine at home. That's why 9 News medical expert Dr. Coley is here. She's talking about that this morning. So the first question, why is it important to have a great routine in the mornings, not just for kids, but for parents as well?
So important, Drew, and I'm sure you had this for your kids as well.
Well,
right?
I worked the morning show, but their mom certainly had definitely a big routine.
Well,
it's an effective one, yes.
So the data has told us that having a morning routine both for kids and parents improves focus. So they actually do better in terms of their academic performance. They're less likely to have mood disorders. So anxiety, stress, PTSD, all of those types of things are actually lower with kids that have a morning routine. And they're more likely to have energy during the day. And you're also building good habits for the long term. So if you start them off right with time management, they really do better as adults too.
Yeah, their mom was the drop-off parent.
Okay.
Because I worked the shift, I was the pickup parent.
I gotcha.
I was in charge of homework.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you that didn't always go well.
So you didn't have an afternoon routine?
Now let's stick to the mornings, Dr. Cole. Let's stick to the morning routines. Let's put the pressure on you. What would be like the ideal? It's going to be different for every kid, right? Every family. But what would be an ideal morning routine?
So these are the components that you should have. So wake up at the same time and go to sleep at the same time every day.
That's even tough
to do. That's a hard one.
It is
But
hard.
I will say even on the weekends, you want to be within about an hour of your wake-up time.
I've heard that before.
And I know people like to sleep in on the weekends, but it's not the right thing to do. As soon as you wake your child up, hydrate them. So bring them a glass of water because they're probably mildly dehydrated overnight. What that does is it kind of gets the body's cellular functions going, but it also triggers them to maybe think about starting to have a bowel movement because the gut, when it gets distended, starts to then move towards a bowel movement. Then you get them ready, get them in the bathroom, get them the hygiene, you know, if they're taking a bath in the morning or at least comb their hair, brush their teeth and all that. Then you got to have that breakfast, and it can't be a sugary breakfast. It can't be a breakfast on the go. They need to sit down and eat a high protein breakfast. After that, you should give them dedicated bathroom time. So they do sit on the toilet and spend a minute trying to move their bowels because it shouldn't happen when they're at school. And then if you can work in a little bit of movement, either some stretching, walking the dog, or maybe even walking them to school.
Movement wasn't enough?
You got to get physical movement too.
I'm only laughing because as you're describing all this, I'm picturing a child. I'm picturing my own kids when they were like 7 years old.
Yeah.
Then I'm picturing them when they were like in 7th grade at 13 and thinking it's going to get all the more hard and more difficult when they do get older.
Yes. But I will tell you, it's very behavioral too. So if you can program your body to do the same thing at the same time every day, it really does help with those bodily functions. And our body's like a machine. And our mind is like a machine. So it needs to warm up in the morning so that it has optimal performance.
We like to focus on the positive, and we should.
Yeah.
But let's talk about morning fails. What are some mistakes that families can make in the morning?
So waking up too late. Okay, so that's a big one, right? So you stay up too late, you wake up too late. This is something that most families and parents do in the morning, screen time. No. That cannot happen.
Not at all.
Not at all. Not for you, not for your kids. Because it's really distracting. It's really sort of derails the morning routine. And it sets the brain off on the wrong tone. Criticisms, yelling, constant reminders, fighting, you know, pummeling your kids with instructions. These are mistakes that parents make because they're stressed. They don't have enough time. And so they start kind of yelling at their kids, do this, go pack your backpack, make sure you have your homework, eat your breakfast, let's get out the door. That's not the right tone for the morning. You really want to set a calm, collected, and mindful tone for the morning.
I often remember starting out with that mindset.
Yeah.
But once like they don't wake up at the time you suggested, or don't get out of bed when you told them to, or start looking at the phones when they're not supposed to, that's when all those other things start to
derail.
Creep their way in. Before we run out of time, we just have a few seconds left. One last piece of solid advice when it comes to setting up those great morning routines.
I'm going to do 2.
Oh, you dirty dog.
Yes. One is prep the night before.
Okay.
So put out the clothes, put out the homework, set yourself up for success. If you can make the lunch or at least prep the lunch the night before, that really helps the parents and it helps the kids be a little bit more organized. And then the second, of course, is make a checklist so that there's just a little thing they kind of, for younger kids, a visual checklist, but for older kids like your teenagers, perhaps you can just tell them the things they have to do so that they can get in that routine.